This is the HAN Network, the leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
Live from the Darien Ice Rink, it is high school ice hockey on the HAN Network, and a good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Adams. Welcome to high school hockey for a post-Christmas week in Darien. Today, the Darien Blue Wave take on the New Canaan Rams. The Rams come in with a record of 0-2 on the year, while the Blue Wave start the season at 2-0. Great crew on hand today. Chris Kalin, Frank Granito, Eric Gendron, Josh Fisher, AJ Simonowski, Kate Chaplinsky, Marty Hersom, John Kovach, Dr. Joyce Brothers, nowhere to be found. We don't need her today. We've got a great crew as we get it going. The rivalry, the Blue Wave, and the Rams. Cato, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Robin. We're in for a treat today. This is going to be a team who, after last year, had some turnaround. For New Canaan, they have a distinct advantage coming into this game. They've got two goalies who do have varsity experience. For Darien, last year, with the departure of Michael Colon to graduation, now we're seeing a couple of goalies step up. You got senior David Voigt and Brendan Bumgardner. So we're in for a treat to see whether or not these two guys who have played well at the JV level can step up and take that next step for the Blue Wave.
David Voigt has already played well. First couple of starts on the season. He's one of our nominees, in fact, for the HAN FCIAC Athlete of the Week on the men's side. But, you know, the Rams have got to find some offense. Can they find it here against this Blue Wave squad?
You know, it is a tall task for New Canaan to try to find offense against this very experienced defending FCIAC championship and state championship Division I squad. But for New Canaan, they've always been good. They've always brought great athletes to the table. They've brought skilled players to the table. The big question is, can they skate effectively three lines? You know, to be a dominant team in the FCIAC, you should have four good, you should have four effective lines. For New Canaan, that's something they've struggled with. They've always had a good top two lines, but it's that lower level that needs to get those top two lines rest, whether or not they can play effectively.
By the way, we have a third member of the crew on hand today, and happy to bring him in. Let's step down ice side. Of course, you heard from him a week ago up at the Edward L. Bennett rink, but we've got him ice side today. Frank Granito. Frank, good afternoon.
Thanks, Rob. I'm down here at ice level. Coach Gore just came down. They're getting ready to have the teams come out of the locker room. The Rams are going to have to do a good job of staying out of the penalty box today, in my opinion, to be able to compete. This is a high-powered Darien team, and the goaltending and defense has been spectacular through the first two games of this year.
Frank, thank you very much. And by the way, folks, we can't stress this enough. Frank wearing that NC on his jacket because he is a football coach. That does not mean he has a bias or a rooting preference. So, Frank, I've got your back.
Thanks, Rob.
All right.
I was just thinking it was just to keep them warm because those two Canaan jackets, they happen to be very warm.
It does look very comfortable. Not as comfy and warm, perhaps, as the HAN Network jacket, of which I will still be getting you one. The Denali North Face jackets that are just absolutely gorgeous. And believe me, I've gotten my fair share of wearing those already. And you will as well.
I can't wait.
I know. I messed up. I forgot to bring it out of the office today.
See where I rank. It's all right. It's good. I can deal with that.
We're friends. It's going to be okay, I promise. For the Rams on the year, they started with a 4-2 loss at Notre Dame West Haven at Bennett Rink. That was a broadcast we had for you here on the HAN Network. Then they took on Hamden a week ago tomorrow, and that happened right here at Darien, and the Green Dragons won 6-2.
Yeah, for Darien, and it's like Frank said, this was a team that's always played excellent defensively, and they've always, over the last few years, have done a great job shutting off the neutral zone to opponents. They've played very well against their blue line and working at the red line as well, keeping the opponent's offensive possessions to a minimum. And they were off to a great start this year under new head coach Mac Budd. With the departure of Chris Geary, it was a very disciplined team. And, hearing Mac Budd, it seemed like he's a more lighthearted, very smart hockey guy, but definitely a lighthearted type of coach. He's not as focused and as disciplined as Coach Geary was.
The officials have made their way out onto the ice, and now here come the Blue Wave. The Blue Wave in the home white today with the blue shorts, the block-style blue number on the back, the Wave on the front of the sweater. Of course, the TV numbers on the sleeves really is where they've moved to. Of course, the classic TV number is on the shoulders. It was really more of a football thing that was initially developed because you had the high overhead shot so you could see the number up on the shoulders. The Rams have also taken the ice in the red, the white, and the black, and this was supposed to be a 4 o'clock start. We're going to be a hair late today. In fact, the mandatory 8-minute warm-up clock has just started, so the team's just now hitting the ice. So we will start just a moment late.
When do we ever really start on time? It's usually a few minutes here, give or take.
Sometimes. I didn't think we did too badly at Bennett Rink. What a great facility that is, by the way.
No, it really is. It's tremendous. It's not a lot of space to work with, but they do a tremendous job accommodating the broadcast teams.
Now, friends, we want you to know this broadcast is a little different for us in various and sundry ways. You know, traditionally, you want your camera angles to be really from one side of the ice, not at the ends of the rink. You want to be able to shoot from the bleachers and look left to right and right to left, much as we're used to doing in places like the Bennett Rink, Dorothy Hamill, Winter Garden, and various other places as well. This one a little different in that, and we've known this because from you and I in our radio days, we always had to do this top to bottom look. Even before they put the offices over here in this right corner to our right, there used to be just the top of the skate shed there, and John Spang and I would climb this treacherous ladder. I'm still shocked they always allow this to do that, but in fact, John would bring lawn furniture, summer lawn furniture, and set it up all hockey season on the top of the skate shed. That's where we'd call the game from, and there was no netting around the rink. You actually had pucks flying at you.
So you actually did the broadcast with gloves in your hand?
Almost. In fact, I caught a glove I caught a puck while on the air, just kind of flew right up and hit me, and I snagged it right out of the air. So it's a little bit of a different perspective here for us at the Darien Ice Rink, and we are so used to giving you the highest quality that we can possibly have. You know, we have, of course, invested in making sure that you get the high def of everything, and Eric's got a switcher that I swear he cuddles at night. He loves it so much. In fact, I had to carry the box the other night, and I was holding on to it going, it's okay. And remember last night,
I heard it growling at you.
Well, last night we joked that if it got dropped, you would hear crying and sniffling from New Hampshire. Didn't happen, so all is well. All that being said, you know, we broadcast from a wide variety of locations and sporting venues, and each presents their own set of challenges. You know that as well as I do. We have ranked places left and right over the years. This game today is probably from our most challenging facility, limited space, giving us limited camera positioning options. Please know, folks, what I'm trying to get at in a very long-winded way is that we are trying to work with what is available to us, and those are key words. What is available to us and our crew. As always, we thank you so much for watching the HAN Network. This is the end of a lot of broadcasting in the calendar year of 2015, and we're certainly proud of that.
Yeah, we've been busy.
We have.
It's been very impressive. A lot of baseball, softball. We did lacrosse, football, as you know, multiple games that way. We've done, this early hockey, and looking to get some. Hopefully, starting next year, we'll get a lot of basketball in too.
We will have our first basketball broadcast on January 7th, to be exact. Did you sign up for that one?
Where are we doing it?
Norwalk High School.
That one I don't think I signed up for. I think it's the next one on I believe we have. I'll be doing Darien with you.
That sounds right. You're a pro.
Darien. I think Darien and Norwalk.
That very well could be. Danbury Norwalk is the January 7th broadcast, and yes, you did say you'd be with me for that.
That's the Thursday game at Norwalk High School.
Yes.
I should be able to make that.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Well, the only difference is I'm going to be. I mean, it's going to be a hectic week for me because I will be opening my referee season at Stanford High School for Stanford High in New Canaan, and then I will have, I believe, Trinity Catholic Girls and Harding Girls JV on Wednesday. So Thursday, I'll be ready for the basketball broadcast.
And I know for you, much as with John Spang, who I worked with for so many years on WGCH, he was always telling me he was an official. He didn't want to cover games or teams that he would broadcast. He didn't want to have them, and I know that's kind of a thing that I'm sure rolls through your mind as well.
No, for me, it's more, and I will say it, and I don't care. This is my second year. This is my third full year doing basketball.
Do I need to shut your microphone off?
No, it's my second year doing basketball at the high school level. I have a lot to learn. So I mean, there's a lot of things I see that I know. In being on the court, you could tell from watching it and being right there trying to track it.
Yes,
it's much faster at that court level with the game in your face.
I agree,
and it's definitely a lot to learn. And as a gentleman off to our right over here, Mr. Tommy Cribben, would attest to. He's been a varsity official, I believe, 11 years now. Very good basketball official as well as baseball umpire.
Very smart basketball man, in fact, who was a junior varsity coach at Greenwich. That's how I got to know Cribbs many years ago. He now does all kinds of filming as well as the refereeing and the umpiring you were referring to, and is darn good at all of the above. Good man. So we're looking forward to this one, though, as the teams continue the warm-ups on the ice. What's going through the mind? Are we taking the records and throwing them out at this point? Has this just come down to a rivalry still?
It is a rivalry, but I think for both teams, if you have to focus on your game plan, execution, the plays. The players on each side of the ice. For them, for each side, it's for New Canaan. It's like Frank said, we have to be smart. We have to be careful with the penalties. And especially if we get the man advantage, we have to take advantage of it.
So with all that said, we're building the hype up for a good one, we hope, between the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams. The Rams in the red, white, and black. The Blue Wave, of course, in the white and the blue. With all that said, let's get ready to take a timeout. We'll come back to the Darien Ice Rink. Starting lineups, we'll drop the puck. We'll get it going. Should be a good one. It's a rivalry. This place is going to fill in. They may have to eventually kind of shut the door and say no more can come in. So you watch it right here. It's high school hockey. It's the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Discover the Wilburton Inn in Manchester, Vermont, a 30-acre historic estate featuring a turn-of-the-century mansion with elegant inn guest rooms and 7 large private vacation homes, perfect for ski vacations and holiday celebrations. Special offer on select rooms and houses. Stay 2 nights, get the 3rd night free through Christmas Day. CNN has called the Wilburton one of the top 8 mansion hotels in America. Call 802-362-2500 or visit wilburtoninn.com for more information.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
At Innovative Health and Rehabilitation, we provide an advanced level of care to resolve symptoms and minimize recurrence. Our experienced professional staff design and implement effective plans to return individuals to their prior level of function. We specialize in the treatment of orthopedic and sports injuries, pre-post surgical rehabilitation, performance enhancement, strength and conditioning, vestibular rehabilitation, balance and gait training. A convenient location and flexible scheduling is available to accommodate your needs. We look forward to providing you with a comprehensive level of care to meet your rehabilitation goals. We are also affiliated with 3 high schools, Norwalk, West Hill, and Stamford. Our certified athletic trainers cover the athletic events at the high schools to prevent, treat, and educate student athletes and injuries. Our certified athletic trainers also take part in the New Canaan Youth Football Program. Reach us at 650 West Avenue in Norwalk. Call us at 203-852-9903. Innovative Health and Rehabilitation.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your local destination for the best of the holidays. Shop Stewart's for the freshest produce, certified prime rib roasts, magnolia wreaths, fresh baked pies, gingerbread houses, Christmas candies, and the season's best wine and craft brews right next door at Stewart's Spirits. Shop Walter Stewart's, 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Back at an awkward Darien ice rink after one of the weirder starts I've ever seen. You know, we see systems go down for one reason or another. Remember Greenwich High, we saw Dick Leonard have to recite, the public address announcer have to either recite the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the national anthem himself. Here, the PA system, well...
What PA system?
Well, it's now working.
It's on the fritz.
It's now working.
It's definitely not like the Bennett rink where you had speakers every 5 feet clobbering your eardrums.
The starting lineups were announced by yelling them. I mean, folks, when public address announcers first came along in the 1920s, they used megaphones. I kid you not. And then play-by-play announcers initially could be the public address announcer at the same time. I have a broadcast from 1934, a Yankees-Tigers game. A broadcaster named Ty Tyson on WLW out of Detroit would do the play-by-play. When a change was made in the game, you would hear him then switch on the PA system and make the announcement of the change. Well, we've seen it all. Starting lineups for Darien, they bring out Harry Congdon and Scott Voigt on defense, Riley Mullen, Sam Knowlton as well, Herbie Hazelton, David Voigt is in net. For New Canaan, Tyler Hill, Drew Morris, Quinn Hayes, Tyler Ferraro, Harry Gelnaw, Liam Mooney is in net. New Canaan at the top of the rink from your perspective. Darien right down below us. Time to play ice hockey. And away we go. So it'll be brought down into the Darien zone. They'll go cross ice. Voigt will feed it back to center. Of course, there are 2 of them. Scott wears 2, and David wears 33. Here are the Wave. They get it down into the left circle. They'll work it around. Now it'll be taken by the Rams, very top of our picture. And they'll bounce it off the glass out to center. Snagged there by Herbie Hazelton. Went to send it back. He'll bring it cross ice now to Congdon, who will center it. Gets it out ahead. Max Romine gets across the line, heads down into the right circle, goes behind the net. Now it's taken away from him. Hazelton heading over toward that right corner. In the corner, once again, they'll play it there, whistle it around. Hazelton brings it over to the near side, kept alive. Good start by the Wave, but here come the Rams. They bring it across on net into the glove of Voigt. He'll hold on.
First shot on goal for New Canaan. Darien doing a good job getting the puck deep, but they're trying to move it back out around the boards to the point, and New Canaan's doing a great job pinching it off.
Face-off goes to the right side of the senior, David Voigt. Of course, he had huge shoes to fill with the departure of Will Massey, who was just a rock in net last year, winning the FCIAC and the state championship. First time since 1969 that they raised that championship banner for the state.
Did I say Michael Cohen before? I apologize. For some reason I had his name stuck in my head.
That's okay. He appreciated the shout-out. The alumni's watch. They listen. Goes into the left corner. We've got a minute and change gone by. First period and no score from the Darien Ice Rink. They'll whistle it down into that left corner. Again, that's the perspective that's a little harder for us to describe, and we'll do our best with it. We've got A.J. Simonowski, John Kovach, Marty Hersom all running cameras. They'll bring it across the line, get it into the zone. Put it on net, bring it over, near side. Spin it around, top of that left point, and work it into the left circle. Taken over there, that's Owen Collins for or rather Jay Dixon, I beg your pardon, for the Blue Wave. No, it was 15. I was right the first time. Trust your judgment, Rob. Down the right side it goes, into the right circle. The chant of Blue Wave hockey picks up here as it's brought back to center. Through the neutral zone, taken again, across the line. Down to the left side goes Ben Brown. Brown heading toward the left corner. Battles there with Edward Glassmeyer, the sophomore, as they'll bring it right back on net, and the save made, held on to by Mooney. 12:47 to go, first period, no score.
Excellent offensive presence, good shift for Darien. Good puck movement, trying to get that centering pass. New Canaan's doing a great job cutting off the middle, forcing them to work from the sides.
Face off to the left side of Liam Mooney, the junior. Glassmeyer was there for the Wave, put on net, the save made by Mooney. It'll be spun back around by the Rams, looking to clear. They're able to get it out to center. They've gotten one shot so far on Voigt, but really not a lot of penetration into the Ram zone, or I beg your pardon, into the Wave zone. 2.5 gone by, first period, no score. Have you recovered from last night, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good.
That was fun. Overtime win. In fact, 2 overtime games we saw as this goes up toward the Darien bench, stopping play.
Both of these teams, knowing this arena as much as they do, they know the bounces off the boards, and they're using the boards to their advantage to kick the puck out, to get it out of the zone.
Face-off will come to the right side of Voigt. Put down and controlled initially. Thomas Solger was there for the Blue Wave, comes back behind the net. Robbie Forresta was there for the Wave now. Comes into the slot, snagged away from there by Harry Congdon. He plays it back to center. Taken once again, Drew Morris for the Rams. Bring it across the line. They'll bring it down the right side, head over toward that left corner. No score, just underway, out in front, and the save made, held on to by Mooney.
Excellent work for Darien. Canaan tries to get some kind of play set up. They try to go cross ice with the Darien with the presence of mind to cut the puck off, block it out, and just excellent hustle getting back to the other side. And that's the one thing Darien's always done well. It's clearing the puck and getting the rush moving.
Face-off goes to the left side of Mooney in this case. Held alive along those right wing boards and back out the center in a scoreless game. 3 and change gone by in the first period. Down to the left circle, sent off the boards, kept alive by the Blue Wave. Behind the back pass for Riley Mullen, and out come the Wave. They send it down on net. Save made initially by Mooney, but it goes back behind his cage with 11.5 to go in the first period of a scoreless game here at the Darien Ice Rink. Heading off toward the left corner in a scoreless first period. It'll wind around into the right corner. Again, it's Darien, it's New Canaan. You don't necessarily go by what the records and the scores say, at least until we get a result here. You just play hockey or football or tiddlywinks. Bring it back through the neutral zone. It bounces off the boards. Down the right wing side with a white out going on today for the Darien fans that have turned out. In fact, that's right down to our perspective. From our left perspective, it goes back behind the net. Hunter Hazelton now for the Wave. Fed back to center, and the Rams will take it and dump it right back in. So grabbing it is Sam Knowlton, the senior defenseman, one of the captains for Mac Budd in his first year. Of course, he's been in the program as an assistant under Chris Gerwig. Chris Gerwig stepping away to focus on some other hockey activities. After winning that elusive championship last year, Mac Budd takes over. Pat Gore on the other side coaching the Rams. For a long time, it was Chris Gerwig and, of course, Bo Hickey. Coaches have changed. Down the right side they go. Into the New Canaan zone. No score. Now it's in the slot toward the right circle. Jay Kirby comes on for that. Almost held in at the right point. It'll come back out into the neutral zone. Cross ice goes Knowlton. Knowlton will take it back. He'll skate right up through center. Leave it ahead. Push it across the line as Drew Morris delivers a bit of a hit there. Center it goes again. Bouncing off the boards. They'll send it down around the boards. And off to the right wing side. 9:50 to go first period. No score. In the slot, bringing it now toward that high slot. It'll bounce back behind the net of Mooney in a scoreless first period with 9:40 to go initially. Out come the Rams now, skating from top to bottom in the red, white, and black. Turned over, and then the Rams able to backhand it down into the Wave zone. It goes behind the net, and over to play it is Connor McCarthy, a defenseman. Out to center again, turned back around by the Rams with 9:20 to go in the first. Dumped down into the right corner. That's where Teddy Hood, the junior defenseman, comes along, and the Rams will take it right back, moving from top to bottom. Got kicked off a skate and across the line. That was the skate of Glassmeyer. Comes over into the left circle and sent back out of the zone by Congdon. Across the line come the Blue Wave. Glassmeyer into the right circle. 8:58 to go in the first period. No score. Now from the top of the right circle, a wrister put on net by Congdon. Scrumming for it behind the net of Mooney. We'll get a whistle, a stoppage. We'll hold on right there. And something cooking here with 8:49 to go in the first.
So the whistle stop. You know what it is? The net came off its moorings.
Yep. Again, that's that perspective of being so far away. We're not quoting Carol King.
And you saw Jay Dixon try to make that wraparound, try to put it in. It's just that when Mooney slid over to block it, he kicked the pipes out with his skate.
Cross ice from the circle. Dumped down. It'll wind around the boards. That was Congdon. Back out the center and sent down by Voigt. Scoreless. 8.5 to go in the first period. In the right corner, it'll head now to the left corner. Picking up. Here come the Rams back from top to bottom. Played off those boards. They'll keep it alive with 8:24 to go in the first period. Down into the right wing boards. It'll go behind the net. Voigt taking a look. Now it goes to Matthew Martins of the Blue Wave. No score, 8:09 to go first period. Out through the neutral zone, the Rams coming back feeling like they've got numbers in the right circle, deflected off the body of Voigt. Now it'll come over to the near side, and that was Scott Voigt with the deflection. In that case, Tyler Hill, the good approach. Across the line come the Wave, trying in transition. Oh, that was dangerous. That puck almost got to Riley Mullen in the slot. He would have just about been one-on-one. Resetting are the Rams, and they lift it into the netting. That stops play. 7:40 to go in the first period, no score.
And Darien doing an excellent job. They're spacing, the players are spacing themselves perfectly. They're cutting off the sides, and especially they're getting on the puck, whoever's handling the puck in the neutral zone. As Buchanan tries to dump the puck in and go after it, they're doing a great job cutting it off and taking the puck handler off the play.
Face off to the dot outside of the Darien zone, closer to the crowd. And controlled by the Blue Wave. They will take it with Hunter Hazelton, go cross ice and out to center. This will head down the right boards and stop us with an icing. 7.5 to go in the first period. So, Frank, I understand you can hear me again. How are things down there?
Things are going well. It's high intensity right now. Physicality's at a high. It's been going back and forth. I almost caught a stick one of the last times they were over here. New Canaan looks to be playing a little bit passive right now. They haven't got a lot going on offense, and while they're really protecting the front of the net in their own zone, they are vulnerable to a couple odd man rushes lately.
All right, Frank, thanks very much. Back behind the net it goes. First period, 7:20 to go. Comes down into the slot. Turning around is Knowlton. We don't want Frank getting hit with a stick. I mean, you know, we don't, whether it be Pierre McGuire or whomever, we don't want that to happen as we get a penalty coming up here. Interference will be the call with 7:12 to go in the first.
And Hunter Hazelton will go off for 2 minutes. Is it Hunter Hazelton.
2 minutes for interference.
It is Hunter Hazelton. He set an illegal pick in front of his own net, cut off Brooks Gamble from on the forecheck, and the refs picked it up. 2 minutes for interference.
All right, face-off will go to the right side of Voigt. Scoreless, 7:12 to go in the first. Face-off will be controlled by Solger. Now he gets knocked out, replaced by Jay Dixon. He'll go up against Brooks Gamble and controlled by the Rams. In the left corner, taken back behind the net. That was George McMahon heading off to the side of the right circle. Dancing around into that right circle. Send it back right point. Whistle it through traffic. Save made. Second try. And it gets deflected up into the netting. That was fun.
Absolutely. Excellent opportunity over on the right side by Tyler Hill. He has it wide open. Sends it in. Tries to go top shelf. Has an excellent opportunity, but knocks it off the post.
20 seconds gone on the man advantage. Face off to the right side of Voigt. Face-off win for the Rams. Comes back behind the net. Crowd trying to jump into it early on. Back to the left point it goes. Held there by the Rams. Now near the side of the left circle. That was played by Tyler Hill. Sent back and out of the zone. Trying to grab it with the glove was Drew Morris. This will go all the way down and back behind the net of Liam Mooney. 1:13 to go on the power play. 6:20 remaining. First period, we have no score.
And Darien's always been very aggressive on their penalty kill. If you hold on to that puck too long, they will go after you. You have to have good puck movement and set up your play and get the open man.
Through the neutral zone, it bounces down into the Blue Wave zone. David Voigt will play it behind his own net, whistle it around the boards. It'll be held in at the right point, but dumped back out of the zone. Good job by the Blue Wave and Ben Brown. Scoreless, 44 remaining on the man advantage. 555s to go in the first. Waiting, blasting it across the line. Come the Rams with Brooks Gamble. Off to the left circle, cleared right back out by Congdon. Half minute to go on the man advantage in a scoreless first period. For the Rams, they want to land that first punch, but they got to get a little more traffic out in front. Backhanded into the zone, and the Blue Wave able to clear it right back with Congdon. Out the center it goes. This will be sent down. It'll go behind the cage of Liam Mooney. He'll wait for one of his mates to come over. The problem is Jay Dixon comes down as well. The problem there is he plays for the other team. Scoreless, 5 to go on the power play. Cleared across the line. It'll go once again. So the power play expires, and we skate at even strength. 5:09 to go in the first. Turnover and blocked in the slot. Good job by Teddy Hood to block it, and we skate scoreless. 5 to go in the first period. That was DeBerardinis for the Blue Wave as we get a whistle with 4:55 to go in the first. Max DeBerardinis, Cato, a freshman, or rather a sophomore, came off the bench, and boy, that created trouble for the Rams.
Absolutely. I mean, he came off the bench like he was fired out of a cannon. Freshmen tend to do that, Rob.
Or sophomores in this case.
Is that a sophomore?
Yeah, I misread it at first. Face-off goes to the right side of Liam Mooney. Held in at the left point now, comes out of the zone. Thought the crowd was getting ready for the I believe that we will win chant because, you know, we have 10 and change gone in the first period. And it's never too soon. Backhanded down from the right point by Drew Morris. Behind the cage it goes, heading over into the right corner. Scoreless first period. One power play so far. Across the line, they'll go into the Ram zone, send it back out of the zone. Back to play it are the Rams. They'll head back behind their own net. Reset things there. Looking to clear it. Couldn't do it. Kept alive at the point. It'll go all the way around near the right point, and the Rams will start back. The Rams coming from top to bottom. Instead, it was the Blue Wave to take it away with Scott Voigt. Out to center it goes. Trying with a head of steam is Jay Kirby to get it across the line. Here come the Rams coming back the other way. It's a 2-on-4 as they get across the line down the right wing, and Scott Voigt delivering a little bit of justice on Brooks Gamble. Off to the left side boards it goes. 3:50 to go. First period, no score. Good start here. Off the side of the cage it goes. Back behind the net into the right corner. That was played by Max Romine out to center. Spun right back around. Here's Scott Voigt. Voigt on his own. Now hands it off. That goes to Romine. Romine out of the zone. Gets across the line. Down the left wing with Herbie Hazelton. 3.5 to go in the first period. Good pace. Left point. Kept alive, but dumped down behind the net. That was taken by Scott Voigt. Coming back the other way. Here come the Rams. Rams will go for a change as they dump it down the right wing with Gunnar Granito doing the honors. 3:18 to go in the first. The whistle, no score.
And Darien's just been very good so far this first period, just keeping the offensive pressure up. New Canaan in the last few minutes, they've done a great job clearing the puck, but Darien is just not letting them get into New Canaan's into the offensive zone to set up any kind of play.
Face off to the right side of Liam Mooney in a scoreless first period, 3:15 to go in the first. Here come the Wave again. They're down on net, crashing it, and we'll get a whistle again. Puck disappeared, stopping things. 3:07 remaining in the first.
Excellent defensive play for New Canaan. They were able to get in there, try to create a little agitation for Darien, not let them set up for any kind of rebound.
Face off to the left side of Mooney now. In comes Glassmeyer to take the draw, at least initially. A little bit of an equipment issue.
Wardrobe malfunction for Liam Mooney.
3:07 to go in the first period.
But it's pretty good. After that scrum, there was a lot of movement. It gives all these guys a chance to catch their breath. Unfortunately, Darien also gets to catch their breath.
Let's try it again. And there's the draw. Scrumming for it. The Blue Wave come away with it. They're in the white. Whistle down on net. That went through a lot of traffic from Knowlton off to the right corner. Grabbed back by the Blue Wave. There's Dixon. Dixon in that right corner. Scoreless. 2:50 to go in the first. If you're scoring at home, boxing-wise, so far, do you get the sense the Wave have the advantage?
Absolutely.
Okay. Back to the left point. Big blast there, but it was deflected off into the right corner. 2:38 to go first period. Right wing boards it goes. Kept alive in the right corner. Coming away with it are the Blue Wave. It's loose. Now it goes right near the side of the right circle and out to center. So they will reset things with Hunter Hazelton. Hazelton out of his own zone. Bounces it off the boards to Jake Kirby. Kirby, left circle. Backhanded. Net comes off the moorings. That'll stop things with 2:12 to go in the first.
And so far in this period, Darien out shooting New Canaan 7-3 so far.
That won't win you a lot of hockey games.
No, but that's a credit to Darien's defense. They've done an excellent job cutting off that New Canaan blue line.
Right. Face off will go to the right side of Liam Mooney. 2:12 to go in the first. No score. Off the draw. It'll go out down into the corner. Back there for the Rams was Ben Webster, the sophomore defenseman. Go behind the net with 2:04 remaining in the period in the right corner. They'll go behind the net, trying to play it out in front again on the quick dipsy doodle. Instead, it'll head over toward that left corner, and the Rams will bring it back out. They work from top to bottom. They get across the line and what could be a 3-on-2, but good job defensively. Now put on net with the rebound and held on to. Gamble came down, as did George McMahon. A good rush for the Rams.
Absolutely, and finally they were able to get some puck movement even with that rush in front of the net.
Frank, your thoughts?
Well, I thought it might have been a little too cute there by McMahon. He had the puck in the slot. Would have liked to have seen him fire that on goal. Good job by Gamble, though, following up with it and getting something on goal. We talked about how badly the Rams are being outshot right now. You got to throw everything you can at Voigt. See if you can catch him off his game. He's been so great to start the year.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. Minute and a half to go in the first period. No score. So far, so good, at least if you like scoreless hockey. Sent down to the end line. It'll be pushed away by David Voigt, who, as both Cato and Frank have said, has really not been challenged so far. Back behind the net. They'll feed it into the slot, and the Blue Wave will come away with it. Fed through that neutral zone, taken back by Jack Webster. Webster across the line. Harry Congdon for the Blue Wave will take a look to his left. There's Scott Voigt. Voigt will skate out of his own zone, whistle it down into the right corner. It'll bounce around, a little pinball action there, and off to the right boards it goes, out of the zone once again. So Scott Voigt will take it, take a look cross ice. Sam Knowlton on the rotation there for defensively for Mac Budd. And they'll get it back out of the zone. Bounce it off the boards one more time and send it down with Ben Brown, who will wind it around the boards. 45 to go in the first period, no score. Now the Rams come back. They'll bring it across the line, trying to get around Hunter Hazelton. Into the circle it goes. Now they'll try the sharp angle, almost off the body. Interesting shot. Tyler Ferraro was sprawled on the ice. Back out at the other end. Down goes Jake Kirby. Kirby scores!
everything breaks down for New Canaan right after that rush in front of the net. Kirby's able to take the puck, get out to the blue line, and he gets ahead of the New Canaan defenseman, and he's able to go one-on-one with Liam Mooney.
Once that became that situation where you had that potential breakaway, you knew you had a problem.
Yeah, and that's the hard part with Darien is their speed does not allow you to make the mistakes overcommitting to the net.
Off the face-off with 22 to go in the first period. It'll get dumped down into the zone. They'll bring it right back. 20 remaining in the first period.
And when you don't leave somebody back on point to try to prevent those breakaways, that's what happens.
Frank, we've got Kirby. Who else gets the assist?
Well, the assist will go to captain number 9, Sam Knowlton. What an outlet pass it was to find Kirby breaking through the middle. The Rams got caught sleeping after they had an odd man rush there and gave up the breakaway the other way. Can't give up a goal with 30 seconds to go in a period.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Off the face-off, it goes behind the net with Scott Voigt. Sends it around the boards, kept alive there, almost lifted into the face mask from the looks of it of Kirby. Kirby has the goal. Down to 8 to go in the first period of a 1-0 game. Here come the Wave looking for more. They'll head it down on net with 2. It'll go into the left corner with 1, and the period comes to an end. Shots, Cato.
Darien outshot New Canaan 9-4. Liam Mooney had 6 saves in the period. And 6 saves, and honestly, a nice job for David Voigt. Nice, easy period, only 3 saves for him.
Does the end of the period, in your mind, allowing that late goal, is that a really bad thing for the Rams?
Well, yeah, the way Darien plays defense, you don't want to give up that kind of goal. You can't get lazy. You can't get a step slow, especially after the odd man rush. You always have to be wary of Darien because they can get back on you in a hurry, as they just demonstrated with the outlet pass. And you're off to the races. You don't have anybody back there to help protect it. You're leaving it all on Liam Mooney.
Frank, from a momentum standpoint, how bad was that goal for New Canaan?
Well, the Rams were probably sitting there thinking they're going to get out of this period 0-0 despite not playing very well. You know, they allowed a lot of momentum shifts at time, but that really stings right there. You talk about how you can't give up a goal in the first or the last minute of a period, and that's exactly what they did. And they've got to be thinking to themselves now, how can we get back in this game, or for that matter, how can we get our offense going?
Frank, thank you very much. Cato as well. 1 period in the books. Darien leading New Canaan 1-0 in another matchup between the classic rivals. Eric Gendron is the gentleman selecting the shots. We'll take a break and we'll come back to the Darien Ice Rink after this. 1 in the books. Darien 1, New Canaan 0. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN network.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network. First intermission at the Darien Ice Rink, and the Darien Blue Wave lead the New Canaan Rams 1-0. Jake Kirby the goal at 14:34 with the assist to Sam Knowlton with Chris Kalin, Frank Granito. I'm Rob Adams. Quick note I want to pass along to you, in part because he's so good to us, and I think it'll be so useful to all of our viewers. CTHS Hockey, such a great follow on Twitter, and he posted that he or she, but I do believe it's a he, posted that going to be trying something new. Going to be posting score finals at cthshockeyscores.weebly.com. So something different in which kind of aggregate for all of the hockey scores around the area and certainly around the state. So again, that is cthshscores.weebly.com, and that'll happen each night, and it'll be just a good way to see all the finals at once. And of course, you know, the CIAC takes a little bit longer to get the information and, finalize it, put it up on their website. And I noticed they have something new, a new scoreboard that they have as well, a new widget on their page. But I really like this idea from CTHS Hockey. Plus, he's been so good to us, so wanted to give a shout out.
Cool. But that is a great thing they're doing. It's it's nice for the hockey fans in the area who support these kids. Who show up at the practices at 5:30 in the morning. But it gives them a chance to see what everybody else is doing. It creates a more tighter-knit community. Exactly right. In fact, a score already in from today as South Windsor beat Fermi Enfield 3-0. The rest of the scoreboard sounds like this. We've got New Canaan and Darien. It's right here at the Darien Ice Rink. You got Ridgefield and Notre Dame of Fairfield at 5 in the Christmas tourney at the Bennett Rink. Northwest Catholic and St. Dominic of Maine, they play at 5:20 at the Norway Savings Bank Arena. That's up in Maine. Fairfield Prep and St. Joseph. This, I believe, should be St. Joseph, as in St. Joseph of, no, I guess it's St. Joseph, New York. It says New York.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock at the MSC Holiday Face-Off. The Newington Co-op and St. Thomas Aquinas from New Hampshire play at 6:15 at the Whittemore Center. Trumbull and Milford, 6:30 at the Milford Ice Palace. Simsbury and Westfield of Massachusetts at 7 o'clock. And the St. Joseph I was initially thinking of taking on Xavier in the Christmas tournament at 7 o'clock at the Bennett Ice Rink. And Jim Bransfield, the fine writer up around Middletown, once told everyone quite firmly, it is Xavier, not ex-Xavier.
Okay.
Public service announcements, Cato. It's what I'm about.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's all you got for me, huh?
That's all I've got. It's fine.
When we get started in 2016, by the way, we will have another boys ice hockey game for you next week. We will let you know about the schedule and figure out exactly where and when that game will be, but you can find that all at live.han.network. And, of course, this game today at the Darien Ice Rink, just a little different for us, and I just want to keep stressing that, when this idea to do HAN radio first came into my melon a couple of years ago, I wanted to bring the standards that, you and I and Chris Irway and Ryan DiMaria and, my core group of guys, we kind of had this over at WGCH, and I wanted to bring those same standards here and give the best play-by-play and eventually into the best video and the best quality. That's the thing I always liked was that in our days in radio, people would say, it sounds so professional. And that was always the best compliment. I want that same for us here on the HAN network and certainly on the video.
And so far, I would say we've done an excellent job.
But it's a different angle than you're used to seeing. You see what we did last night at the Edward L. Bennett rink. It was left to right, great camera angles, camera in the corner, a high center camera. It all looked really, it was a stunningly nice, and the footage is up on our website, and it just looks gorgeous. Here, there are limitations, which is the most polite way to say it.
Well, you have to understand, I honestly think that a lot of these arenas, when they were built, they just didn't have television or broadcasting in mind, because it was just something that never really occurred to them.
Certainly here, it's different. You get the top to bottom view, and we tried. When I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we tried every possible consideration, from building scaffolding to using a scissor lift to everything we could think of to get camera angles in the corners and get it at center ice. Thwarted is the best word I'll use.
The hard part is the arena itself. It just doesn't. It's the seating section is very small, so it's hard to make that kind of space.
So, of course, Jamie Tropsa and the folks right down below us at in the shop couldn't be more accommodating. So I want to make sure I give them a shout out, because they've just been wonderful.
Yeah, it's the hard part. You do have the office to the left of us. You have the other new offices to the right of us.
Right.
But it's in the middle where we need it, we can't get it. And it's just the way, it's just just the fact of life, that the way the building has been constructed.
Bottom line is this: it's very challenging, but please know we are working with what's available. As always, we thank you for watching the HAN network. And of course, it'll be right back off and running tomorrow morning with Coffee Break. Kate Chaplinsky up here in the booth with us this afternoon. In fact, looking comfy cozy in her winter cap, very stylish.
Yeah, in her hockey seat. She's in her arena seat.
She is in a hockey seat. I like that.
Although she's stuck next to Josh since.
And Josh Fisher's trying now figure out why you took the unnecessary swipe at him.
It's out of love. He knows that.
All right, we'll take a break.
He'll kill me later on Twitter.
We'll all yell at each other in the break. No, we're only kidding. We will take a timeout. We will come back. Team's getting ready to hit the ice for the second period. Cato and I and Frank will tell you exactly what they need to do in the second period. Darien up 1-0 on New Canaan. We come back to the Darien Ice Rink after this on the HAN Network.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your local destination for the best of the holidays. Shop Stewart's for the freshest produce, certified prime rib roasts, magnolia wreaths, fresh baked pies, gingerbread houses, Christmas candies, and the season's best wine and craft brews right next door at Stewart's Spirits. Shop Walter Stewart's, 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With two convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, docshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to the Darien Ice Rink. Rob Adams, Chris Canaan, 1-0 our score after one. Before the second period gets underway, let's head down ice side and bring in Frank Granito. Frank.
Thanks, Rob. Well, a big thing New Canaan will have to focus on this period now is just the period of the long change. We've seen how Darien can extend the ice with the stretch pass, so the Rams will have to be careful with their defense changing, vulnerable to the breakaway again. And if you're the Wave right now, you want to stay on the attack. Go for the jugular, already taking momentum off the goal at the end of the last period.
Frank, thank you very much. Second period underway with, of course, Liam Mooney now right down below us. David Voigt at the top of your picture. Off into the right corner it goes in a 1-0 game. Down the right wing boards, they'll play it back out near center. Crowd still trying to file in a little more. We were talking in the first break. Sounds like they needed to get some permission from the fire marshal to let a few more people in here. I wondered what kind of crowd we'd have. Here we go, right off of, off Mooney. It goes behind the net. Good opportunity for Riley Mullen. Now it's in the circle. Put down on net, trying for the rebound, looking for the wraparound, and they score. Point blank in the slot. Max Romine makes it 2-0.
And for Darien, it's just getting bodies moving around the net. You get guys moving everywhere. The defense is forced to pick up each guy. Nobody settles into any kind of position in front of the net, and it just leaves everything wide open.
So a 2-0 game with the Blue Wave now up a pair.
And for Darien, they're just doing what they did in the first period, sending guys at the net, sending somebody to the net. Always keep somebody right out in front of that crease.
Off the face-off, it gets sent down the left side. Teddy Hood will play it for the Rams. 2-0, 55 gone in the second period. Heads off to the left circle now in a 2-0 game. They'll bring it across the line and down into the Darien zone. 21 on the goal, Romine with the goal. And that came at 42 seconds. We'll get all the details. In fact, we can get them right now. Frank, update us.
Well, it is Romine with the goal, his first of the year. Assist going to Mullen and Hazelton. That's Herbie Hazelton. Guys, the Wave has scored 12 goals this year. That is the 6th goal scored by that line. It is Romine's first. And we talked about goals in the first and last minute of the period. The Wave have now scored one in both.
Of course, the Rangers once had the goal-a-game line. Boy, Darien doesn't have that. They've got more than goal-a-game, 2-0 with 13.5 to go in the second period. You're too young to remember the gag line.
Oh, I remember the gag line.
Yeah, but you didn't see him play.
I didn't see the gag. I know the gag line.
It was, let's see, Hadfield. Oh, God, I'm blanking here. Of course, who am I missing, Cato? Why am I blanking?
I'm trying to think and watch the game at the same
I
time.
know.
It's giving me a headache.
All right, here come the Blue Wave. We'll get back to that. They'll bring it across the line, down on net. It'll come into the left circle. Can't believe the Almanac brain is going blank on me. Held in at the point. Put on net. That goes wide. Big blast coming from the left point. Now they shovel it out of the circle. Comes back behind the net. 2-0 our score. 12 and change remaining in the second period with Darien holding that 2-goal lead. Comes behind the net. Off near the right point, back out the center, and we'll get a whistle stopping things right there, Cato.
Yeah, now you got me thinking about that, and I'm trying to analyze the game. But Darien, for the most part, New Canaan has not been able to get anything going. It's been a struggle for them all game, and you see it, and you look at it, especially from this angle, you could see it. Darien boxes off the neutral zone and prevents New Canaan from doing any kind of puck movement.
That tells you how tired I am. Vic Hadfield, John Rattel, and Rod Gilbert. My goodness. Come on, Cato. You should know that. Off the face-off, goes into the left corner. Sam Rosen wouldn't let me live that down, or Joe Micheletti for that matter.
No.
In the meantime, we do have a penalty, and we'll get the details on that in a moment from Frank as it heads over toward the left corner. 2-0 our score. 12:20 remaining in the period. In the left corner, they'll trickle it back out. Lifted. off to the boards right near the benches. Across the line come the Rams. Now they'll leave it back at center. Big hit there right out near Frank, in fact. Rams bring it back, trying to shovel it on net. Instead, it gets off the body of Scott Voigt. 1:20 remaining on the man advantage. Goes behind the net. Out to center it goes, now all the way down. Frank, what do you have for us on that penalty?
Well, it was Edward Glassmeyer, the sophomore, going off for interference. Got caught behind the play, matched up with captain Drew Morris of the Rams. Refs gave him 2 for retaliating. He'll go for interference.
All right, thanks. 57 remaining on the power play. Second power play for the Rams. They are, of course, 0 for 1 because the scoreboard still says 2-0. Down at the other end, they look short-handed. They keep poking at it. It was Jay Dixon initially. Save made by Mooney. Back out to center. Dumped down. It'll be taken by Teddy Hood. Hood across the line. Hood to the side of the right circle. Goes off behind the net now to the left wing. Along the boards, backhanded down and kept alive by Tyler Ferraro. Into the corner, 25 seconds remaining behind the net. They'll bring it over to the right wing, and it'll send all the way down into the Ram zone. Down to 17 to go on the power play. This place really standing room only here. And once you get standing room only, the quote-unquote press area becomes a haven for, not lots of nice people to come hang out with us because they all want to meet Cato, and so do I, for that matter.
You want to meet me?
Yeah,
You already did.
That's true. It'll be kept alive by the Wave. Second try, puck loose. Comes over into the left corner. Power play expires. 2-0 the score. 10:14 to go second period. Across the line, this will be sent down on net. That was Michael Grise. 10:15 to go in the second period. A 2-0 game. Goes behind the net in the Wave zone. The Rams, you really feel like the Rams need something and need it really kind of now. I know they're chasing 2, but it feels a little bigger than that. They're bringing it back, though, the other way. Coming with Hazelton. Hazelton had deflected off the body of Ben Webster. Goes into the right corner, and there's the whistle. That stops things with 9:55 to go second period.
And that's going to be a tripping, I believe, is going to be the call. New Canaan's going to go off. I can't tell the number on it. It's tucked too high. I believe it's Drew Morris.
Frank, Drew Morris.
That's actually going to be Quinn Hayes. He'll go 2 minutes for tripping. Lost the puck on the boards there. Had to take down the man to avoid the 2-on-1. And we'll see the Wave power play for the first time tonight.
All right. Penalty comes at 5:05. So first power play right on net and covered up by the glove of Liam Mooney.
Liam Mooney, despite giving up the goal, has been absolutely brilliant in this second period.
It'll be Brooks Gamble for the face-off against Jake Kirby of the Wave. They win the draw, kept alive at the left point. Stick handling there, goes Knowlton into the circle. Kirby just trying to shove it home. They had a couple of tries with an open net, instead taken away. Kept alive. Knowlton had it bounce off the side of the stick. Comes over and out of the zone. Knowlton will chase it. There was some open net there. Couldn't take advantage of it. It was still 2-0. 32 gone on the man advantage. Back come the Wave across the line. This is Jake Kirby. Kirby right corner. Kirby goes behind the net, sets it up, left point. Here's Knowlton. Knowlton back to Kirby, side of the left circle. High slot, Knowlton. Shoved down, backhanded. Another try, and they score. It is Kirby. 3-0, a power play goal.
And for Darien, it's just sheer tenaciousness on Liam Mooney. Liam Mooney gets the initial save. The rebound comes right out to Kirby, puts it away.
I think actually we will double check, but I think 15 the goal. It was 15,
Owen
so
Collins.
it's Owen Collins on the goal. That 5 was there initially, but it was 1-5, not just plain 5.
Yeah, that's all I saw. The 5 was on the sleeve when he scored.
So the power play gone, and at 5:57, it's a 3-0 game. So the Wave 1 for 1 on the power play. Remember when I was saying that New Canaan really needed a goal?
Yeah, and right now they really need one here.
So 3-0 as it goes into the corner. 8:45 to go second period. Ben Webster for the Rams. Now they'll send it back behind the net. Bounce it off the boards with Drew Morris. Off to the left wing boards again. Dixon over there. The Rams come away with it. Now it's Glassmeyer in the corner. They'll go over and find Gunnar Granito, who plays it off into the bench. Details on the goal. Here's Frank Granito.
Well, the goal will go to that's Owen Collins. He'll kick up the first power play goal of the year for the Wave. DeBardinis and number 17, Hunter Hazel, will pick up the assist. The Rams look lost on that penalty kill. They got to avoid that. They have to stay out of the box if they're going to get back in this game.
And you can see it on the replay right down below our monitor, Cato.
Yeah, just a hustle play, being the presence of just getting in front of the net, having that presence of mind to be around there to collect the rebound.
This will come down on net, and Mooney is going to cover it. 8:16 to go, second period, 3-0. So now chasing 3 as you watch again.
Yeah, you see the play. Darien gets that rush coming. They're coming down deep with it, and they get the puck behind the net. And what happens is, and this is the second goal. This is the second goal right here. It's just there's the rebound. Now they're going to come around. Sammy Knowlton's going to come. Like Riley Mullen comes around, tries the wraparound, misses the wraparound, and the deflection, instead of going off the net, just kind of skates out into the middle of the ice for the second goal.
3-0, 7:55 to go. They're looking for more. Put on net and covered by Mooney. Aggressive Herbie Hazelton, still 3-0.
It's 3-0. It could easily be 5-0. Liam Mooney has kept them in this game. He's got 16 saves so far.
Face-off will go to the left side of the junior. Down there for the draw goes Tyler Ferraro of the Rams, matched up against Romine, back out to the neutral zone, taken across the line, lifted down into the right corner. Skating over into that right corner is Drew Morris. Morris playing it over there. Now it's the Wave coming away with it. High slot, big blast into the glove of Mooney. He'll hold on.
And you talk about all of New Canaan's defensive struggles, moving the puck and everything else, and trying to get it clear. The one thing they haven't done very well is, get in there and protect Mooney. They do a little bit of clearing. They've been done a little bit of clearing out in front, but this is still the encampments. That's the couple times the encampments is what's doing it in for them.
The Blue Wave the fans are saying this is our house, and wouldn't surprise me if the Rams are saying we'd like our own house. Around to the left side, boards it goes, put on net, save made, and taken all the way back out of the zone. Back to play it goes Hunter Hazelton, sends it down. It'll go beyond the end line, come back behind the net. 7:14 to go, second period. 3-0 our score from the rink in Darien as it goes back behind the net. Played back to center. It bounces away. Got away from Ned Jenkins of New Canaan. He's a senior. Down it goes. Back the other way and spun around behind the net in a 3-0 game, under 7 to play here in the second. Here come the Wave again, deflected off the body initially. They'll bring it over into the left boards. Anthony Marciano there, the senior. Put on net again. Mooney's going to hold on, Cato.
Unbelievable job Mooney's done so far. He's faced 14 shots. He's got 12 saves. 13 saves. He's just been unbelievable.
Face-off will go to the right side. Brooks Gamble there for the Rams. Matched up with Owen Collins. Collins had the goal just a few moments ago. That was a power play goal to make it 3-0. We get a whistle back out at center ice. 6.5 to go here in the second period, 3-0.
Trying to fix my math here. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, 11 saves so far.
It's all right. Door opening again. And Frank's going to tell us what's what.
It's going to be Collins, the goal scorer. He'll go 2 for hooking in the neutral zone there. Good play by Gamble trying to fight through it. We'll see if the Rams can figure something out in the power play here. They are in desperate need of at least a shot on goal at this point.
And with 6.5 minutes, New Canaan just needs to put something on the board.
I agree. And they put it back off into the right corner. Came at just about 8:27 on that power play. On the clock, I should say, to get things started. Right wing boards, side of the right circle. Stick handling there, Gamble. Feeds it down into the corner, takes it back in the corner. Takes a look, brings it back into the high slot. Waiting there is Morris. Morris went to blast it on net, goes off to the left boards. Snagged once again. This time it's Tyler Hill. Hill, the alternate captain for Pat Gore. The captain is Drew Morris. James Francis, also an alternate captain. We should mention Francis not playing today as we get a whistle stopping play with 1:20 to go on the man advantage. James Francis got in just a little bit of hot water, Cato, because, well, these things happen. I'll explain why when time allows. 40 seconds gone, the man advantage. Face off to the right side of Voigt. Voigt hasn't had to do a whole lot here in the second period. Puck back behind him, goes off to the right corner. Now held in at the right point by Morris. Sent down through traffic. It'll go behind the net. Couple of swipes at it there. Now Voigt sliding across. Goes behind the net again. They'll keep it alive. Waiting there is Morris. Morris, the blast. It gets sent off into the left corner. 57 to go on the man advantage. Work it through the left circle. The backhander to get it on net. This will come all the way down. Bottom line, James Francis got hit with a 5-minute major boarding call. That gets you the automatic suspension. You get tossed for that game, and then you get the next game off. That's what it comes down to. So they are missing James Francis, which is a tough call to make, you know, and you watch enough games with an official's eye. You know that as well as anyone.
It is a tough call, but you see what happens and you see the end result. And I think the end result kind of speaks for the play itself when you see the officials make that call.
18 to go on the man advantage. Blast coming from the left point. Goes down on net. Into the circle again. Oh, there was an open net and they missed it. Go to the right wing boards now. Over to play it, Ben Webster. The Wave come away with it with 7. Down to 5 remaining on the man advantage. Short-handed, they bring it across the line. Stick handling in the neutral zone. Hit the crossbar. And then the ceiling.
Nearly went through the ceiling.
Jake Kirby pinballed it right off the crossbar and then bouncing off the ceiling.
And what's more impressive for Kirby is just the viciousness of the shot with a man in front of you.
Power play expires. The Rams now 0 for 3, a man up, 4.5 to go, second period. It's a 3-0 game. Backhanded out to center. The backhanding coming from Gunnar Granito, the freshman. Whistled across on net, and they score.
Little give and go. And you see Herbie Hazelton, he's coming from the far side to the net, and it's an amazing pass because it gets through 2 Rams to get to Hazelton as he puts it in.
Hazelton makes it a 4-0 game. That was pretty work by the Blue Wave. So up 4 are the Wave, and it'll be sent down the left wing boards. Head back behind the net. They'll go into the right corner now. A 4-0 game coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the second period. Bounce it off the right wing boards. Starting back out are the Rams. Rams need to find something, get across the line. They'll head down into the circle. Looking and out, almost looking like Bobby Orr sliding across went Tyler Hill. That time I got the old mention right. That's, brains working a little bit again. In the fourth period of the fourth game of the 1970 Stanley Cup Finals. Across the line and offsides. Frank, help us out. What happened on that goal?
Well, it was Hazelton's 5th of the year and only the 3rd game. Assists going to Romine and Mullen. It was the Rams' Ryan Hart, unable to clear that puck along the sideboards, flipped it right up into the glove of Romine, who kicked it ahead to Mullen, sent it across to Hazelton, who buried it right to the back of the net.
Now, it was a beautiful-looking goal, and it's a 4-0 game with 3:40 remaining here in the second period at the Darien Ice Rink. 4-0, as we said, Darien on top. So down into the left circle go the Rams, try to throw it on net. That was Michael Grise, goes behind the cage. Now, once again, back there, same combination. They'll bring it out near the left point, waiting there, Drew Morris. Morris down the left wing side, 3:20 to go. Second period, 4-0. Back out to center. The Wave will bring it back. The Wave have been working quite well today as that squirts through the crease along into the right corner of a 4-0 game. At the top of the right circle, they just miss it again with a hard wrister. Down the left wing, it'll go to the side of the left circle as a hit delivered on Jay Dixon. Goes behind the net, they'll play it into the right corner. Sent back behind the cage again. Chasing it are the Rams. The Rams come away with it initially. Shane Pickering, the freshman, as it trickles down, and instead it's taken by New Canaan and Drew Morris. Looked like Mooney was going to grab it initially. 2:40 to go, second period, 4-0. Now behind the net, little justice delivered there as it was Alex Kostrowski hitting Anthony Marciano of New Canaan. Clean check, 2.5 to go, second period, 4-0. Here come the Wave again in a 4-0 game. They step across the line. It's the Rams. They'll go into the right corner. Max Romine with a hit there. Got to watch the frustration on Drew Morris. Puck loose out in front, pushing, shoving. Everybody, how you doing? We'll see you later. A little pizza, and that's that. 2:15 to go, second period, 4-0.
Couple more shots in front of the net for New Canaan. And Liam Mooney's just been, you can't say how spectacular he's been for them today despite the 4 goals. Right there, he's got 2 Blue Wave players in his face, and he's able to handle both rebounds and then cover up.
Off the face-off, it goes into the high slot. I need to tell you about, first of all, about all of our HAN Network FCIAC Athlete of the Week nominees, but in particular, the goalie for Wilton Norwalk. You will be astounded. At the right point, whistled wide. That came off the stick of Colby Ravosa. Along the left boards, back out to center. Every year you take a look at these uniform numbers and you think to yourself, especially when you cover a team so consistently, and we saw plenty of Darien New Canaan last year, you think to yourself, wait a minute, number 11 or number 22, that was somebody else last year. Yes, they've since graduated, and that's the way it goes. I see 22 right now. I'm still thinking Jack Pardue. Bringing it down into the left circle, trickle down on net. Mooney climbs on top of it. I see 11, I think Nick Tuz. I mean, that's just the way it goes from year to year. You got to get used to the new faces wearing the numbers. Are you ready to hear about Brooke Johnson of Wilton Norwalk? Apparently, Darien put 95 shots on net in a 10-0 win. Janssen made 87 saves. Try that one on for size.
10-0.
95 shots.
95 shots. 87 saves?
87 saves.
She got a couple off the face-off.
I guess so. Down to 1:10 to go in the period. Played through the neutral zone. They'll try to get it back across the line. Will the Rams. 4-0 our score. Darien very much in control. They'll head down toward the right corner. Now play it out of the zone. This will trickle all the way down. Icing will be whistled with 57 seconds to go. Second intermission coming up. Cato and I will chat. It's what we do. I'll give you, in fact, those athletes of the week, the nominees, once again. Got to get the voting going.
And for Liam Mooney, he's got 21 saves in the game, by my count. 15 in this period.
Face off to the left side of David Voigt, who has been enjoying the quiet life for the most part in the second period.
Somebody might want to get him a hot chocolate or something down there.
You might. Down into the left circle it goes, on net. Liam Mooney, on the other hand, has not had time for hot chocolate, a sandwich, or anything else. He has to cover up.
It just shows to what this Darien Blue Wave offense has been able to do. It's just the amount of pressure it's put on New Canaan, especially in this period, has been ridiculous.
Romine for the draw against Chase Glover. Off it. It gets played back out to center. 37 to go. Second period, 4-0. Darien on top. Into the left circle it goes. Trying to corral it there is Riley Mullen. Mullen, one of the captains for Mac Budd, along with Jay Kirby, Sam Knowlton, and Jay Dixon. We talked to all of them on the FCIAC tour. In the circle, lifted high. Nice try by Mullen. Into the corner it goes, down to 15 remaining in the period. Kept alive at the left point, sent on net. Kirby, and they score off the rebound. Hazelton gets his second.
That puck comes in a little bit higher for Mooney. He takes it off the body. When he goes to try to cover up, the puck goes out just a little too far, and it just pretty much gives Hazelton enough time to go in and get it. If I heard that correctly.
You did. But Eric Gendron's going to show you the pictures momentarily, and you will analyze it for us.
I got to get used to that. Look at it. It's just a lot of confusion over on the left side. There's the walk-in. There's the save right there. It goes out to the far side. everything sets up nicely, gets it back out to the point, throws it on net, and that's where it bounces off, and here comes Hazelton to put it through.
As the period comes to an end. Period 2 in the books. 5-0 the score. Cato's going to tell us the shots.
By the count, I don't know how accurate this is. It's an official score, but it's 20 shots for Darien in the second period alone. They've got 29 on the game. I've got 4 for New Canaan. And so far, there's 16 saves in this period alone for Liam Mooney, 22 total for the game.
So 2 in the books, and it is just all Darien. They lead 5-0 after 2. We'll come back for the second intermission. We'll talk about the potential athletes of the week, certainly the nominees, and we'll continue on with third period action. After 2, Darien 5, New Canaan 0. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthegame.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
And playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Panby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network. At the Darien Ice Rink, after 2 periods of play, 5-0, the Blue Wave on top of the New Canaan Rams with Chris Irway, or Chris, who are you? Chris Canlon.
Ryan DiMaria.
With Chris Canlon. I'm never going to hear the end of it. With Chris Canlon and Frank Granito, I'm Rob Adams. Oh, boy. Athletes of the Week for week number 2, the winter edition. On the HAN Network, it's the HAN Network FCIAC Athletes of the Week. You can find it at live.han.network. We will run through the nominees for the ladies. Georgia Cassidy of the Darien Blue Wave. The senior forward had 5 goals and 4 assists during 2 Darien wins last week. Gianna Bruno of New Canaan Ice Hockey as well. a second-year varsity player, a big game in a shutout over Greenwich last Monday. She scored the Rams' second goal during a power play in the third and helped ice the victory when she assisted on Brooke Dean's goal in the third period. Caroline Benneville of Greenwich had 26 points in basketball during a 63-50 win over Darien on Monday. She hit 5 from downtown. Taylor Brown of Trumbull basketball drained a three-pointer with 3 seconds remaining, giving the Eagles a 41-40 win over Ridgefield last Monday, the defending champs. Of course, are Ridgefield. Brown had 14 points, including a pair of three-pointers. Brooke Johnson, I told you all about her, the Wilton Norwalk ice hockey goalie, 87 saves, 95 shots, 43 minutes. Talia Hendel of Staples basketball scored 8 points, grabbed 8 boards. The Wreckers defeated Danbury High 36-23 last Wednesday. Claudia Tucci is our final nominee. 9 points, 10 boards. The Eagles moved to 3-1 on the year, a 47-43 road win over Darien last Wednesday. Tucci also had 9 points during Trumbull's 41-40 win over Ridgefield. Now to the men's side, and Jamerica Green Younger, I know I've been saying that name wrong, of Brian McMahon boys basketball, scoring in double digits last week. The junior guard collected 17.7 boards, a pair of steals. The Senators defeated Cheshire 62-47. Nick Rendy of Wilton Wrestling is up next, dominating in the 113-pound weight bracket to win at Guilford on December 19th. The sophomore was 4-0 with 2 pins, including a 12-0 major decision in the finals. After the first week of the season, he is 7-0 with 4 pins. Jack Williams of Wilton basketball, the junior captain, a career-high 30 points as the Warriors knocked off Massac 67-54 last Wednesday at the Zioli Fieldhouse. He had a pair of threes, including 5 free throws. Those are separate things, of course. He also had the game winner last night, separate week, but still, game-winning 3 last night with 35 seconds remaining. David Voigt of Darien, you're watching him right here. He's a nominee as well. He faced 29 shots against Fairfield Prep, a 4-1 win over the Jesuits. He allowed only a second-period goal, and that only after Darien had taken a 2-0 lead. Nico Laveris of Stamford boys basketball, a junior guard for the Black Knights, at a game-high 34 during Stamford's 70-64 win over Newtown on Monday. He hit 5 from downtown, 6 two-pointers, 7 of 11 from the stripe. Greg Lawrence of Fairfield Ludlow, 20 points, 12 rebounds. The Falcons beat Bassac 66-53 last Wednesday. He also added 14 during Ludlow's 55-39 win over Notre Dame Fairfield on Saturday. Ludlow now 3-1 on the year as they lost to Fairfield Prep on Sunday in the championship game of their holiday tournament. And Justin Jordan, the last nominee from Darien basketball, 13 points. The Blue Wave defeated Trumbull 59-55. Some good athletes there. Congratulations to one and all for the nominees, but who exactly is in the lead? As we take a look at this time, let's see if things have changed since we've last talked about it. Gianna Bruno with a commanding 60% lead right now, 60% of the vote, I should say, doubling Claudia Tucci 60-30. She has 908 votes. On the men's side, well, let's see who we have. It's Greg Lawrence with 23% of the vote. Nick Rendy is second with 15. David Voigt has 15 as well. Get out the vote at live.han.network. We'll let you know next Monday on NetMeg Sports who the winner is. Cato and I will come back to the Darien ice rink and get ready for the third period. I'll let you talk when we come back. How about that?
Just tune me out like the rest of my family
does. Well, you were talking. You took your headset off at one point.
No, we would do a little bit of a third period breakdown with Frank.
That sounds good.
So,
all right.
We'll do that.
2 periods in the books. 5-0. Darien leading New Canaan. Cato, Frank, myself, Eric, the whole gang. We come back right after this. Of course, we'll be here. You're going to step out and watch something, then come back and join us. 5-0 after 2 right here on the HAN Network.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
High school ice hockey on the HAN Network is brought to you by Bankwell. Bank smart, bank local, bank well. And by the Darien Sports Shop. And by Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. Back here at the Darien Ice Rink with our entire crew. You know, last night it was Marty Hersom simply being Marty Hersom. Today, we're back to A.J. Simonowski simply being A.J. Simonowski on the crew. Chris Kalin, Frank Granito, our entire team here. I'm Rob Adams. Having some fun here at the Darien Ice Rink.
Yeah, the game itself for New Canaan has gotten out of hand. I think Darien is just imposed its will in that second period. As we bring in our sideline guy, ice guy, Frank. Frank, from your perspective down on the ice, what's one of the strong points that Darien's done so far?
Well, one of their strengths has been a weakness for New Canaan. It's their inability to clear the puck. Darien controls the neutral zone so well and is constantly on the attack. They're never allowing New Canaan any kind of momentum or allowing them to get into their own zone where they have to break out. They spent the majority of the game in transition and on the forecheck.
And so far, what has been your opinion? Now, I thought Liam Mooney so far today has been brilliant. What have you seen from Liam Mooney?
I think Mooney's played a tremendous game. That last goal was a tough one there. It was poor rebound control. I think he would have liked to have held on to that or at least steered it more towards the corner, allowing Hazelton his third consecutive 2-goal game, which was unfortunate for him. But I think it's just a matter of the Rams are outmatched right now. This is a Darien team that's number 1 in the state, and they are imposing their will on everyone, both FCIAC teams, and we've also seen against Hamden and Fairfield Prep, who have combined for 31 state championships, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if we should be expecting any kind of miracle in Manchester situation here right now with the Rams coming back, but it would be nice to see them at least get on the scoreboard here and end this game on a strong note moving forward, as they've got some tough games coming up on the rest of their schedule.
And for New Canaan, do you think just watching them try to clear the puck through the neutral zone, do you think it'll be almost better for them just to take the puck through into the offensive zone instead of trying to dump and chase?
I think even back into their own zone. The Rams are a little panicked right now. They look a little scared, deer in the headlights almost. They need to control the puck, slow down, stop just trying to flick it up the boards. Darien's anticipating it, they're waiting on it, and they're capitalizing on the turnovers. Pick your head up, look to make an extra pass, try to get out in transition.
Thank you, Frank. Cato, a large chunk of the Blue Wave fans took off right just about the time Cato started talking to Frank, and the Blue Wave super fans just tweeted, Wave puck 5-0 over New Canaan through 2, proving New Canaan is inferior yet again in yet another sport. Hashtag we beat them a lot. Ouch, Cato.
Well, that's rough. That's rubbing your opponent's nose in it. But, with this game right now, they're right.
Now, right now is a very dominant Darien performance. As the Rams dump it back down into the right corner, third period underway, 25 seconds gone by. Side of the left circle. It's kept alive. Here's Brooks Gamble, and we'll get a high stick infraction 29 seconds in.
And it's definitely a different game than when you look at David Voigt, the one he played against Fairfield Prep. Fairfield Prep is a much bigger, more aggressive, more physical team than New Canaan is at this point. I think New Canaan, for them, they always, every year from what I've seen them, they always seem to get off to a slow start, and then they find their feet and they get off and running. I think for them right now, it's just a matter of getting that chemistry and that flow.
Off the face-off, it'll go back down into the Ram zone. They look to clear. They do. This will come down on net, and it'll get whistled away from Voigt. Voigt has been Well, pretty calm in net today. Problems have been minimal on the netminder as he makes the save there. And that, I believe, would only be number 9 on him.
I've got 6.
9 shots, excuse me.
Oh, 9 shots, yes.
Yes, okay. Back out to neutral zone ice, stepping across the line. Here's Collins. Collins has a goal, goes wide, and it's held on to by Mooney.
And the one thing Mooney's been impressive with today is the skill he's used with the glove. He's made some great catches. He's used the glove to knock the puck away. The quickness, and he's able to get that glove over to cover the puck. The instincts he's shown in the crease, especially trying to control the puck.
By the way, they were chanting Turkey Bowl at one point earlier as well. So the Darien fans are certainly living it up, and I guess why not? To the victors go the spoils. Just remember when the worm turns, I guess. Bounced off the boards. It'll come down into the Wave zone. So it'll be taken by Scott Voigt. He lost his skate for a moment. It'll be taken away from him, in fact, by Chase Glover. Goes behind the net of David Voigt. Minute and a half gone by. Period 3. It is 5-0 Darien. Voigt at the bottom of the left circle, bounces it off the boards. A Ram waits there. It's taken away by the Rams. Couldn't get it back down into the Darien zone. Trapped up along the bench right out in front of the Darien team. Taken by the Blue Wave. They'll bring it back into their own zone. That was where Jay Dixon awaited. The whistle, the stoppage. We hold on. 13-13 remaining. Third period, 5-0.
Looks like we're having offsides. And surprisingly enough, it's Darien, and you watch the way they skate and the way they move. They know where the officials are, and they pick up that offsides right away, and they reset themselves.
By the way, I want to remind you for our good friends at CTHS Hockey, post those final scores. CTHSHockeyScores.weebly.com. Be a good place to go check out all the scores. Held in at the left point. It's put down on net. Puck loose in the slot. Comes back out to center. Waiting there are the Blue Wave, trying to do something with it. Connor McCarthy, the sophomore defenseman, dumped down into the left corner it goes and goes around the boards. Toward the right point, held in there, sent wide into the left corner in a 5-0 game, 12.5 remaining, third period. Turn back around, the Rams clear, they do. Comes back out to center. So it'll be Darien in their own zone. They'll clear it back. Colby Ravosa, the junior defenseman, sends it down. It'll go back behind the net. You start seeing some different faces get worked in a 5-0 game, Cato. You can work on some things. That's the beauty of this. Here come the Rams back the other way. Into the slot. They were knocked off the play defensively by Sam Knowlton. Goes back behind the net. Played off into the right corner. 5-0 Darien on top of New Canaan convincingly right now. They put up a large chunk. In fact, 4 in the second period. It'll go back behind the net again, stayed alive in the right circle, and cleared back to center. Lifted down, it'll go into the Wave zone. Voigt leaves it aside and back behind the net with Henry Hathaway of Darien. 11:44 remaining in the third period. It's 5-0. Played by Voigt. Knowlton leaves it behind, sends it around the boards. Romine takes it out of the zone. Now it's Hazelton, steps across, gains the zone, down on net, and they score.
Little give and go for Darien. They get that rush going. And it's pretty much just Riley Mullen on the hustle, gets out to that far side, takes the pass across the crease, and puts it in.
3:33, time of the goal, 6-0. Get a look at it. Here it is.
And it's just Darien getting that odd man rush that they want. And you just see it. It's just heads up. Herbie Hazelton spots Mullen coming across the ice, recognizes the weak side, and puts it over on the stick.
We'll get down to Frank in a moment. He'll give you the rest of the bookkeeping and any other thoughts he would like to pass along. 6-0 now our score. Back behind the net, they'll look to clear back out, and the Wave able to do so. Frank, what do you have?
It was Mullen on the goal. Hazelton with the assist along with Romine. This line continues to shine, and they are clearly not taking the foot off the pedal here as they continue to attack against this inferior Rams team right now.
Yeah, I did mention that it seemed like some new faces would start rotating in, and I don't necessarily entirely see that just yet.
I think we're seeing the Darien run all 5 lines now. So the first line's still getting some time, but they're rolling through all 5 of them.
This will go over into the right corner. Played back toward the right boards. 10:49 to go in the third period. It's a 6-0 game. Of course, this being Tuesday, you've got tomorrow and then you've got Thursday. Thursday, normally the day you will find the papers hitting your stoop or wherever you get your paper, your newsstand, where you get your paper, Cato. Down into the left circle it goes. Sometimes mine was waiting in the driveway. Sometimes I went and actually, bought it at a store. Depended.
Newsstand, gas station,
yeah,
wherever.
Still, of course, great stuff in those newspapers, and there's one right here in Darien, of course, the Darien Times, as well as the New Canaan Advertiser. So I want to give the shout-out to both papers, but certainly you and I both have a close friend who edits the Darien Times, and we give a shout-out to Susan and the rest of the gang over at Corbin Drive. They'll play it back out to center as the Blue Wave take it back into their own zone. A 6-0 game, 9:50 remaining in the third period. Back behind the net. Sent around to the right boards. Now to be taken again. Jack Webster, a junior, comes along for New Canaan. Played off into the right corner. Kevin and Natalie, the fine reporters for Susan. They do a good job here in Darien. Darien right now having the better of it, 6-0. They'll play it back to center, out of the zone. Here's Dixon across the line. Dixon to the right circle. Dixon on net, and the save made by Mooney.
What you're definitely going to see for Darien, you're going to see a lot more action from the third and the fourth line. Like Frank said, you're going to see them start to rotate them more into it. You may see 2 or 3 more shifts. You may see 2 more shifts for the top 2 lines. Mostly it's going to be the third and fourth line. You're going to see that third defensive line out there doing a lot of work. The defensemen are just going to run from the point. At 6-0, you don't want to go too crazy. You want to end the game as quickly as possible. 9
minutes remaining in this one. Obviously, you want everyone to get out healthy now and work on whatever you need to work on, and this will come all the way down into the Darien zone. Voigt will leave it. Now send it all the way back out near center ice. A little bit of pushing and shoving there, and then they get it back to center. Flinging at it was Robbie Forresta of Darien. It's a 6-0 game. Down into the left corner. My memory bank can't quite think of if I've ever seen a Darien-New Canaan hockey game so one-sided, but this certainly has been quite the affair for the Blue Wave. Bottom of the right circle. They will bounce it back out to center. Taken back by the Blue Wave. Send it down and go for a change. And as Frank had said, you really are starting to see some different numbers out there. Across the line, though, that was Kirby. Kirby to the left circle. Play it back to center through the neutral zone. 8 minutes remaining, 6-0 game. Crowd has trickled down here. Certainly the student fans many of them have called it a night. However, Karen Kalin is still here, to my knowledge. Ashley last night, Karen tonight. In part because Karen did not get the keys of the vehicle away from her dad as it's put on net and held onto.
No, she's not even old enough to drive yet, Rob. You're pushing it a little. She's not even. She heard that, but I called her name like 5 times before. She didn't hear that at all. You see the smirk? They said it's
that was a definitive smirk, along with daggers being sent at you.
Oh yeah, no, that's the death ray smirk.
6-0 with 7.5 to go. Fortunately, she looks more like Mom.
They both do. Lucky for them.
Thrown on net. It'll go into back behind the net. How is Chrissy, by the way?
She's at work.
Send her my best.
Of course, because she likes you more than me.
Into the right corner it goes. 7:07 remaining in the third period. 6-0 Darien on top. Along with Chrissy Kalin's husband, Chris, I'm only Rob Adams. Across the line come the Rams. As it go over and a little high off the blocker down to the left wing boards, and the Blue Wave will take it. That's where Jake Kirby is, behind the net. Kirby takes a look, feathers it out to his left, sends it away, and Jay Dixon will do something with it. Now it comes back with the Rams across their own line. 6:39 to go. This game, for the most part, you would imagine, unless something gets kind of silly, will just kind of trickle away, and the clock will be done, and that will be that. As it comes down on net, but you always wonder, is there going to be that, little something extra? 6:19 to go. Back through the neutral zone. Here are the Rams in a 2-on-1. Shoveled across. Unable to do anything with it. Another try, and it's put on Voigt. Tyler Ferraro was right there. Certainly frustrating for the Rams. That might have been one of their best looks of the afternoon.
And they had it. They had a nice rush. They had the nice clearing pass. They had the man over on the far side, and it's just a flutter puck that just floats over it. Nobody was able to get a stick on.
Right wing side comes back out to neutral zone ice. DeBerardinis was there for Darien. Now the Rams back in their own zone, 5:45 to go, bouncing off the boards. We remind you, coffee break starts your day tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. And if it doesn't start your day, well, then at the very least, take that necessary coffee break with Kate, Don, and myself. As it bounces off into the left corner, I do my part with the sports and the weather. Don brings you the history. Love Don's history segment. Deflected off into the left corner with 5:18 to go. Yankee Fisherman normally can be seen Thursdays at 1. However, tomorrow, as it's put on net again and pushed aside by Voigt, it'll air tomorrow as opposed to Thursday, with us going silent Thursday and Friday, taking the weekend off as well. But John and Yankee Fisherman will cast the line tomorrow at 1 on the HAN network. 4:55 to go in the third period. Through the neutral zone, Knowlton plays it off the boards to himself. Into the slot. Knowlton on net. Bingo. The extra point has been put up, Cato.
Absolutely, and Darien's just made it look extremely easy. When New Canaan is just trying to get a rush. They're trying to get caught a little bit in a shift change. One man's coming off. They're waiting for the other guy to get on the ice. Knowlton just takes full advantage of it and goes right in.
And Frank, I imagine unassisted?
That one was unassisted, and they are making it look easy. That was the right way to put it. The Rams just do not have the depth to keep up with the wave right now.
Do you keep the foot on the accelerator at this point? I mean, for Knowlton, he could have pulled up, but why? Why have him pull up?
It's an easy chip by one defenseman, and when you're in front of the net, are you really going to tell a kid not to score?
Absolutely.
You're playing your rival and one of the better teams in state history.
No, I agree with you, Frank, completely. I think, you got to shoot the puck. Into the left corner it goes with 4 to play. It's a 7-0 Darien lead. Puck goes wide, goes back behind the net. 3:55 to go in the third period. CTHS Hockey, by the way, gives me a little nugget to chew on. I had forgotten about this one. December of 2011, Darien beat New Canaan 6-1. New Canaan has won only one regular season versus Darien since the 11-12 season.
That much is true.
It doesn't feel like it's that one-sided, and yet it is, because we've seen New Canaan play some really good games. Thrown on net, it goes wide with 3:22 to go behind the net. We saw a great tie here a couple of years ago in our very early days. I remember Mac Wright, the wonderful goalie for New Canaan, right down below us, and he was so confident, so fun to watch. This put on net as well and sent wide with 3:05 remaining. Down the right wing side, it'll go into the corner. 3 minutes remaining in a 7-0 game. Thanks to the entire crew and everybody keeping us company up here as it's put on net and held on to by Voigt.
I remember that game. Mac Wright.
Oh, what a game
struggled.
he had.
He struggled in the first period. He had a hard time controlling the rebounds, moving the puck, and everything else. And it just seemed like once he settled into the net, I think about 5 minutes left into that first period, and you weren't scoring on him. Darien was getting frustrated because they were peppering him with shots, and he was just moving everything at will.
Again, it bounces through the circle, puck loose, and held on to. George McMahon was right there on the doorstep. 2:45 to go. One little note I also want to pass along, because this is our final game broadcast of 2015, and it has been a remarkable 2015. I'll explain why and how in a moment. Face off to the right side of David Voigt with 2:41 to go in a 7-0 game. Voigt will climb right back on top with 2:38 to go. Last year, 2014, we did 111 games, and I thought, well, that's pretty good. 2015, we upped our game. 135 games, and this is the final of those 135 as it comes back into the Darien zone with 2.5 to go. And obviously, more often than not, you hear my voice yammering for a couple of hours during these games, and no doubt I love calling games. It's really one of my favorite things in life. Across the line come the Rams with 2:16 to go. But it is the effort of an entire team of people that has made these broadcasts work, all 135 of them, and we continue to pick up good people, all of which I can't possibly name, not only here at the rink, but back in the Shelton studio or from our days in Ridgefield or any other site that we go to. It just takes an entire team effort, and as the lead voice, I can only say thank you to all of them, including you.
Oh, thank you. That's awfully sweet.
I try. Face off to the right side of Voigt with 2 minutes to go. And I can tell you, we already have plenty more planned for 2016. But when I think how far we've come already, it's pretty remarkable as the Blue Wave tack another one on with 1:50 to go.
Man, it's for New Canaan, this is one of those games where you pile on, where they've piled on. They put on 3 goals here in the third period, 2 in the last 5 minutes. And for New Canaan, this is one of those things you need to file away and use it as motivation to get better.
We'll get the details from Frank on the goal in just a moment with 1:48 remaining, and certainly Frank a new addition as well. This is his first full game broadcast with us, but we had him at the doubleheader a week ago in West Haven to do some intermission stuff, and another fine addition. I think of the people who have come along. I've gotten so close to A.J. Simonowski and how great he's been, certainly off the air, and he's developing, getting on the air more, something. And you know me, I love training broadcasters to bring them along and make them the best they can possibly be, and despite that, you're still standing next to me.
Yeah, I know. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad penny.
I know. I just can't seem to make you any better. 1:11 to go here in the third period. Again, we're friends, folks. It's all said with love. Somewhat. 1:05 remaining in an 8-0 game. Frank, what do you have for us on the goal?
That was Collins' second goal of the night. The assist going to Soldier. A nice play by Soldier along the boards before centering it in. And if I can just add here quickly, this loss will move Coach Gore to 0-4 in 2 years against Darien, a team he used to coach for since taking over as head coach. But keep in mind, they play again on January 30th. And I would be surprised if the scoreboard tilted this way this much again.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. Half-minute remaining, third period here at the Darien Ice Rink. And they're just trying to skate it out with the New Canaan Rams falling here in all likelihood 8-0 unless something changes. 20 seconds remaining on the right wing in the Darien zone. It'll go behind the net. There it was loose there for a moment. Turned back by the Blue Wave. They'll take it behind the net with 10. They obviously want to get the shutout for Voigt. Down to 7 remaining. It'll go into the right corner. Looking good with 4. Behind the net with 2. 1, and we're finished. 8-0. Final score. David Voigt pitching the shutout. Cato, rather impressive.
Yeah, a dominant performance all the way around for Darien. They worked well defensively. They were able to dominate the neutral zone. They controlled everything through there. And then you just take the 8 goals. It was just an unbelievable performance for Darien.
Truly impressive performance by the Darien Blue Wave, the defending FCIAC and state champions. And this one is over. The final score, Darien 8, New Canaan nothing. We'll take a timeout, come back, start putting a ribbon on it, and say adios to 2015. Final score from the Darien Ice Rink. The Darien Blue Wave 8, the New Canaan Rams nothing. We're back to say goodbye right after this on the HAN Network. At Innovative Health and Rehabilitation, we provide an advanced level of care to resolve symptoms and minimize recurrence. Our experienced professional staff design and implement effective plans to return individuals to their prior level of function. We specialize in the treatment of orthopedic and sports injuries, pre-post surgical rehabilitation, performance enhancement, strength and conditioning, vestibular rehabilitation, balance and gait training. A convenient location and flexible scheduling is available to accommodate your needs. We look forward to providing you with a comprehensive level of care to meet your rehabilitation goals. We are also affiliated with 3 high schools, Norwalk, West Hill, and Stamford. Our certified athletic trainers cover the athletic events at the high schools to prevent, treat, and educate student athletes and injuries. Our certified athletic trainers also take part in the New Canaan Youth Football Program. Reach us at 650 West Avenue in Norwalk. Call us at 203-852-9903. Innovative Health and Rehabilitation.
Discover the Wilburton Inn in Manchester, Vermont, a 30-acre historic estate featuring a turn-of-the-century mansion with elegant inn guest rooms and 7 large private vacation homes, perfect for ski vacations and holiday celebrations. Special offer on select rooms and houses. Stay 2 nights, get the 3rd night free through Christmas Day. CNN has called the Wilburton one of the top 8 mansion hotels in America. Call 802-362-2500 or visit wilburtoninn.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. Welcome back to the Darien Ice Rink with Chris Kalin. I'm Rob Adams. Impressive. Just impressive by the Darien Blue Wave. 8-0.
Absolutely just a dominant performance for Darien, for New Canaan. Just absolute frustrating performance. We're just unable to get anything done that you wanted to do. Can't set up any offensive plays. You weren't able to move the puck around. You were barely able to get it through the neutral zone. And you managed 5 shots. You managed 8 shots on goal for the first 2 periods. Then you managed to put on 6 more in the third. But at that point, the game was way out of control anyway.
Shots 36-14 in favor of Darien. Frank rejoins us as well. I'm truly impressed by the Blue Wave. What do the Rams have to do to correct things?
Well, there's a lot of growing pains that we saw out there tonight, and we talked about a lack of shots, but let's also talk about a lack of quality shots. A lot of those shots were fluttering through from off angles. They're never really tested void at any point in time in this game. And the Rams currently sit in last place in the state standings, and Darien is rightfully on top. And there's a big gap there, but the Rams are not as bad as they played tonight.
I agree with that. I did not see a bad team. Today I saw a dominant Blue Wave team. At West Haven, I saw better play from New Canaan that night against Notre Dame of West Haven.
Yeah, I think for Darien, it's just that New Canaan can't figure out the puck movement against Darien. They try to throw it deep. Darien cuts it off, and they try to bring it up the ice themselves, and Darien just skates up and takes it away from them. I think it's just the play in the neutral zone, and we've seen it for a lot of years out of Darien. They control the neutral zone. And that is the key to their dominance, is they control the puck, especially in the neutral zone. Whether they have it or they don't, they're able to seal you off in your defensive zone for at least 3/4 of the game. And it just keeps you, even, and you see them, even when they become aggressive on the penalty kill, they can get 3, 4, 5 shots off on any given power play shift. Kill shift.
I will say this. There's another team in the FCIAC that wants to believe they're in the conversation, and I got to make sure I say it because their goalie is about 3 feet behind me. The Greenwich Cardinals also believe they deserve to be in the conversation with Darien, and they certainly look good so far. So Darien Greenwich, I would sign for that.
Well, it's a nice turn of events here, seeing that the FCIAC is a power in the state again with hockey. For too many years, it was dominated by the likes of Notre Dame of Fairfield, Notre Dame of West Haven, Fairfield Prep, and it was unbelievable that you had 2 FCIAC teams in the championship last year. And it's not a knock at all right now against Greenwich, because they are one of the top 3, if not top 2 teams in this state. But just based on where they finished last year and what they look like over their first 3 games, Darien is an undisputed number 1 right now until proven otherwise.
Absolutely, I agree with Frank. It's Darien. The chemistry.
You get to deal with the Bizzutos. I'm just saying.
No, it's from what I've seen so far. We haven't had a chance to see Greenwich yet.
I agree.
So to pass judgment in that regard, I do know Greenwich does have a very good goalie. He's standing right behind you, Rob. He's a young man we've watched for years, and he is a very excellent goalie. And for Darien, in order to beat Darien, you really have to get in and challenge Voigt. You have to make Voigt play. If Darien can keep Voigt out of the game, in any given scenario, when a team can keep your goalie keep their own goalie out of the discussion with the offensive play, it's really hard to tell what Darien can be doing under pressure.
Gentlemen, let's go get some dinner. Frank, great stuff.
Thanks, Rob. Great to be here, guys.
Cato?
As always.
Excellent as always. With all that said and done for a Tuesday night, that will do it from the Darien Ice Rink. The final score, one more time, Darien 8 and New Canaan nothing. We invite you to join us tomorrow morning for Coffee Break at 11 o'clock. Kate Chaplinsky with the news headlines. I'll have the weather and sports, and Donald Eng with some of the best history facts you will find. That's tomorrow morning at 11. Yankee Fisherman at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And we'll finish 2015 with Nutmeg Sports tomorrow at 2. For our entire crew here at the Darien Ice Rink, wrapping up game number 135 of 2015. These are the people that were here today. John Kovach, Marty Hersom, Kate Chaplinsky, AJ Simonowski, Josh Fisher, Eric Gendron directing, Frank Granito down ice side, and my partner, Chris Kalin. For all of them, it's an honor to say it's been fun. I'm Rob Adams. Talk to you tomorrow for Nutmeg Sports and Coffee Break. But for now, 8-0. Good night from Darien.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.